26 side hustles failed. 27 succeeded, and that was real estate. And finally, Brian got out of his corporate job. But here's the real twist. He walked away from that success to do something completely different. Today, I'm interviewing Brian O'Neill. We're going to be talking about how Brian got started, how he started on YouTube, how he drives traffic to his Skool community, and how he's actually made that a business. So if you're interested in that, let's get into this. So Brian, thank you so much for doing the interview. I really appreciate you coming and doing this, because obviously I'm a member of your community and it's something that I've been hoping to get you to do an interview for so long. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself and what it is you do.
Happy to have you in the community. I really appreciate that. You've been a tremendous member since you signed up, and we met on the Schoolers platform. So I'm sure we'll talk about that.
Yeah, sure.
Let me give you I have to give you the Cliff Notes version of my story. It's been a while since I've told it, but I am a corporate person, or I was 25 years, mostly in sales, 17 years with the same company, selling elevators. And I tried a lot of different business ideas. I'm known as the guy who tried and quit 26 different side hustles.
Yeah.
The 27th one worked, which was a real estate business. I built that up successfully, was able to leave my 9-to-5 in about 9 months. Messed that one up too. I took on too much. I committed a lot of the same crimes that I committed on the old side hustles, and I landed on coaching. What I found was through being in this real estate mastermind that I was in, and being one of the leaders and being one of the coaches and being the sales guy, you could see here I was doing a lot of stuff, was that one of the reasons that I was successful was because the 27th time was because I actually focused on what the problem was, the real problem. Right. That was me. That was Brian. And once I worked on that and fixed that, if you will, or got better, that's when the business success started to happen. Because here's something that I always say, and I'll never get off this. It's not the business idea that is the problem. It's the business owner. And they're not ready, especially for people who are 9-to-5s, who have a lot of bad habits from the corporate world, and they try to bring those habits to the 9-to-5 to the business world. Sure. It doesn't usually work very well.
That's amazing. We have a very similar story, because I got my first chance at entrepreneurship with real estate as well. And I made a mess of that as well. So I didn't realize that we had a very, very similar story. But no, it's fascinating. So you went from selling elevators, did you say?
Yes.
To real estate. What got you into real estate then?
Well, your viewers may not know what I'm talking about here, but it was the Purple Book, the Robert Kiyosaki book that everyone reads, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and
absolutely.
You see a lot. It's one of those businesses that you just see. A lot of people are having success in real estate, and it always fascinated me, and I tried to do it on my own. And that had never worked. So I hired a coach. I joined a mastermind group. I followed their system, checked my ego at the door, and I did the work, and it worked. I mean, I was able to make enough money to get out of my job and make money that I didn't even think was possible. I just blew it all up.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. Well, we won't go too much into that then.
Sure.
So let's transition to obviously YouTube and then also your community. So I'm assuming YouTube came first, right?
The first thing that YouTube was there before the communities were there. Absolutely. I've been on YouTube for over 3 years, and I talked about a lot of different topics. But the first thing that actually started for me was on social media. Was I was doing podcasting. I had a couple of different podcasts that I was putting on YouTube, and I was also on TikTok. I was on Instagram, but definitely YouTube has been my focus as of late, probably since May of this year.
Oh, right. So you started YouTube before that though, right? You mean that you're taking it more seriously from May this year?
I wasn't taking it seriously, Des. That's the thing, is I was just dumping my podcast episodes that I was putting on audio, right? Apple, Spotify, and the video I would just put on YouTube. And thinking that I would get views. And then I made some other videos as well, but it was really all related to my podcast. And I just made a decision back in May of this year. I said, I'm going to take this seriously because I'm seeing a lot of people have success and talking about it. And I made a few changes, and it's worked out really well. I didn't change a lot. I just did like 2 or 3 different things differently on YouTube, and it's paid off quite well.
Okay, well, maybe we can kind of spin back around to YouTube later. Let's talk about Mind School, because actually, I actually thought you started YouTube and then you started Mind School, but it seems like you kind of transitioned to the community on Skool, Mind School, and then got serious with YouTube. Was that the journey?
Mindset Skool was launched on April the 1st, and my YouTube strategy was May the 1st. So a month later, I flipped the switch on the strategy. So I've been teaching mindset for years. I mean, for years. I just the community. I just finally said, okay, this is the thing that's preventing people from moving forward.
Good grief! So you've not really had it that long at all. Then I thought you'd had it for quite a while, but it's literally May this year it started.
It's brand new. It's my 3rd Skool community. I've been teaching the same stuff in my other Skool communities and in my one-to-one coaching programs. It's just now there's actually a community dedicated to this stuff because it just kept showing up over and over again with everyone.
Sure. Well, perhaps you can tell us a little bit about Mind Skool then, because obviously that's how we met. And I'm obviously in the group, so maybe you can kind of discuss that a little bit.
And hopefully this will give inspiration to whoever's watching this, your members, because I talk about this a lot. There's a lot of business ideas that people have floating around in their heads, or if they're scrolling on social media. And it's one of the biggest things that people come to me with is, Brian, I have too many ideas. I don't know what to pick. And Mindset Skool came from an idea, a transformation that I personally went through. I solved the problem for myself.
Okay.
And I started helping other people with it because that's what I saw in the mastermind group that I was in, the real estate mastermind. It's like, hey, everyone's getting taught the same stuff here. Everyone has the same opportunity. Sure. Why is it that these 10 to 12 people are doing having all the wins and everyone else is challenged? It was because their brain was getting in the way. And I started helping people in that mastermind group, and it just organically, they started to come to me and ask me for more advice. And we really started talking about all of those roadblocks first before they could even get to the business stuff. And as I continue to talk to more people, because I do a lot of one-to-one calls, I did a lot of free one-to-one calls when I started my coaching business, and the same stuff kept showing up. I overthink. I have analysis paralysis. I can't choose one idea. All the things, right?
Sure.
And I said, okay, this is the real roadblock, not the fact that they can't do business. It's that they can't get out of their own way. So I said, if I can solve this problem for the people that really, really have acknowledged that the problem is them, then I've got something really good here. And that's how Mindset Skool was born. And so far, I'm right.
Absolutely. All right, then let's tie that back into YouTube then, because obviously we had a discussion, I think it was yesterday, referenced the sort of avenues you use to draw or to actually send traffic to your Skool community. I thought it was mainly just YouTube, but you said earlier on you were actually using TikTok as well to drive traffic. So maybe you can speak to that a little bit.
In the beginning, I started my coaching business on TikTok, and I was making videos, but I was also doing a lot of live sessions. Okay. And I did this challenge just several years ago. I saw one creator on there. I can't remember the guy's name. And he said, go live for 30 days straight for an hour every day. And I said, okay, I'm going to do that. And I did. I was doing an hour, 90 minutes, didn't miss a day, 30 days straight. I landed my first paid one-to-one client. The guy paid me $1,500 to coach him in a group coaching program. And he ended up upping with me 3 months later, and was one of the founding members in the mastermind that I have, which is also a Skool community as well. So I love that app. I'm not active on it anymore because there's just more leverage on YouTube, but I had to go through that, right? I had to go through TikTok, Instagram, and then now YouTube to really figure out, okay, this is where the audience lives, my audience.
Yeah. No, that's phenomenal. So the main part of the video really, or main part of this interview, is talking about YouTube and Skool. And I know I was speaking to one of my members yesterday, because I think when you go on the one-on-one training with Skool, they tell you to put the link everywhere. But I think you're doing something a little bit different. I think you can probably explain it, but you have the Skool link in your homepage, but you do something a little bit different with the in your videos and in the description of the video. So again, maybe you can speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, what I'm using YouTube to, obviously I can reach more people and they can spend more time with me. Like that's just the way the thought process I have is they can make people go to YouTube to make buying decisions. All right. That is one of the things that stood out at me when I was collecting all this information from people who know what they're doing on YouTube, or at least have a large following. And I said, okay, this makes sense. Instead of 30 to 60-second videos, they get to watch me for 20 minutes, maybe an hour.
Okay.
That's why I made the shift. But what I want everyone to do when they come to my YouTube channel is I want them to make a decision on me first and foremost. Like, is what this guy's saying landing with me? And I'm very, very intentional with the way that I speak and my messaging and the words that I say.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to get them off the platform. I don't want them to just watch me on YouTube forever. So I give them something for free, which is step one in the process of starting an online business, is what do I even do? So I give that away for free. And look, it took me a long time to get there, to get to this lead magnet. Yep. But it works really well. And that builds my email list where I can then speak to them about Mindset School, or about my next YouTube video, or I really talk about Mindset School for the most part. Some people will just join Mindset School right from the YouTube video, or maybe they'll watch 2 or 3. But that is my goal, is to immediately get viewers onto my email list.
Okay. I'm glad you've spoken about that, because it's something I've been pounding in my my community. My community is quite young. It's not been going very long, but I'm trying to get people to see that the transition from YouTube to email list, to then give them options to Skool or wherever else you want to offer. I'm trying to pound that into their minds, because I think when you first start YouTube, you don't think about building an email list. It's not even on the radar, is it? So it's so refreshing to hear you say that is kind of the main way that you drive traffic to your Skool community.
You're 100% right, Des, and I'm glad you're telling that to your members. It's like you don't own the audience. Like I have 13,000 subscribers. I don't own any of them unless they get onto my email list, and then I still don't own them. They can unsubscribe, but at least Absolutely. I have an opportunity to speak with them. Because if everything gets shut down, because you hear these horror stories, YouTube can close your account. Facebook can do the same. Instagram can do the same, and then all of a sudden you have no one to talk to. My email list is the key. And if I can just share this really quick, because this is super important.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In the month of August, my views on YouTube dropped 70%. 70%. I made more money in August than I did in July.
That's crazy.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I know what that is. You can tell me. Yeah,
my email list. I can still talk to them. And that's where a lot of the revenue comes from, is I can always go to the email list and talk to them about what I have.
Yeah. And you do something a little bit different to what most people do. Normally, the idea really is to have an opt-in page. They fill in their name, their email, they get onto your list. And then there's generally a sequence of emails that you automatically write in advance that go off periodically. But you do something a little bit different. I don't know if you can explain how you do that.
I don't do automation. I have 2 automatic emails that go out, right? Everyone gets the same. It's here's the thing that you asked for, right? Mm-hmm. And I didn't invent this. I took it from somebody else and optimized it for me, for someone from Skool. And it's called the Everything I Do email. So I just get it out of the way up front. Like, here's the thing that you asked for, right? Here's your lead magnet, your freebie. And here's everything that I do. Here's everything that I have. Here's my low ticket offer. Here's Mindset School. Here's my YouTube channel. Here's it all right here. And then here's something that's very important.
Okay.
6 hours later, I send them a reminder email to go and get the lead magnet, because people download stuff and forget about it. So I remind them, and then I ask them to respond to me that they got it, right? I do it in a very dry and sarcastic way, because that's who I am.
So just to interrupt you, you say 6 hours, because normally it's like 24 hours. That's kind of the norm, isn't it? But you do 6 hours.
Yeah. The reminder email is 6 hours later. So I send them here's the delivery of the thing, and that happens immediately. And then 6 hours later, I just want to make sure, remind them that, hey, you downloaded this thing, go use it. Because if they don't use it, then I can't help them.
Okay.
And that works really well. Some people still ignore it, and maybe it ends up in the promotions folder. But that gives me another chance to get them there. The reason I don't do automations is because people don't like them and they don't read them. So I can, anyone who's listening to this, I've done so many email automations. You will forget that you wrote them, and you will have to rewrite them anyways. So don't waste your time. People write automations for audiences that don't exist. And I just say, why would you do that? Just talk. If you have 10 people on your email list, super golden opportunity to actually speak to them, write them emails. What are you challenged with? Hey, how's it going today? Where are you from? Like, just talk to them instead of all of the, nobody wants to read that stuff. Does you get them fired?
I don't either. I hate reading them.
Yeah, they don't work.
No,
they don't work.
And going back to the lead magnets, again, this is something I'm teaching in my community. Do you switch your lead magnets out depending on the actual topic, or do you actually go with the same lead magnet for every single video?
I have one lead magnet and one only, and I drive everybody to that because I want my prospects, whatever you want to call them, to go through the same process.
Yeah.
And the lead magnet that I work, I mean, just for context, my lead magnet's been around for a while. Over 7,000 people have downloaded it. It converts like crazy because it's what people wanted. So, and it came from the calls. I don't know what business to start. So I said, okay, I'm going to help you with that. And it's a very, for those of, if you haven't seen my lead magnet, it is a one-page Google document. It's ugly. And it has a 13-minute walkthrough video on YouTube where I actually show them how to use the lead magnet.
Yeah, sure.
And a couple thousand people have watched that. And then from there, the reason I do the video, because it gives a further opportunity for me to build trust. Because if you're interested, I can tell you what my lead magnet rules are, because I've created
please
dozens of them.
Yeah.
So it's this. It has to be number one, it has to actually solve a problem, right? It has to actually work. It has to be super easy for them to get, right? So long-winded sales pages and landing pages, like, just don't waste people's time. Here's the thing you asked for, go get it, give me your email address and your name, and here it is. Then make it even easier for them to consume. Again, I have a one-page Google document and an instructional video that's 13 minutes long. The old video that I had was 30 minutes long, and the lead magnet, the prompts, because it's a series of AI prompts, produce like 20 pages of stuff, and people just weren't doing it.
No.
I knew it was awesome, so I trimmed it down, right? Make it easy for them to actually use. And then the third rule, which I think is one of the most important ones, is give them a win in under 15 minutes.
Okay. I love that.
Yeah.
Is that your idea, or is that something that you picked up along the way?
I came up with that because I analyzed why that was so successful. And I just said, okay, here, it's easy for them to get, right? It's easy. I don't make it hard for them to get the lead magnet. And I looked at, people weren't consuming the lead magnet because it was too long. The prompts were too long and the video was too long, so nobody was watching the video.
Of course.
Then I condensed everything, made it simpler, and all these people started downloading it. And I still get downloads on it all the time.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you're very, very successful. I think you're very successful within your community. You also offer paid services and paid digital courses within the community. How do you actually go about doing that within your Skool community?
Yeah, so Mindset Skool specifically, when I first built it, it was really bare bones. So it was a Start Here course, and then I built, about 2 weeks later, I built the mindset portion of the Skool group. And then as people started to interact and the group started to take on a life of its own, and I had success on YouTube, I did all these one-to-one calls. Again, I do one-to-one calls with everyone.
Yeah.
They started telling me what they were challenged with and what they needed and what they wanted. And that's how I built I had ideas of what I wanted to build, but I would ask them and they validated it. And then I made it. And I have paid stuff inside of the group. where I'll sell workshops, right, that I've done, replays on workshops. I have people, here's something that was very interesting is people were asking me on the one-to-one calls that I do, because I would help them. I don't sell on calls, and they would say, how do I get one or two more calls with you? And I said, I don't really do that. I have this 90-day program.
Yeah.
And we just kind of left the call, but 3 people said that. And I built a 3-call package. And guess what happened? People bought it because they said they wanted it. And that's when the light bulb started to really, really go off, was, okay, this works. So I started testing that more and more. And I said, hey, how about if I do this, because I'm hearing it. And it's probably, the first workshop I did, if you'd like me to talk about this.
Please do. Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
I had some success on YouTube. So I went to this strategy on May the 1st, right? I changed my strategy up. On May the 9th, I struck the YouTube lottery. Let's just call it what it is, right? Like, I had a video that went viral and I was not expecting it. And the whole thing just blew up overnight. I was just like, wow, this works. Yeah. And I shared with my group, this happened. And people were like, oh, that's so great, Brian. They were asking me all these questions. How are you doing this? And what happened? I said, okay, what if I just do a workshop for 2 hours? And here's a little bit of backstory here, because this would be helpful for your members.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Big schooler. I'm not going to say who he is. Big schooler, won the school games, very well known. Right. I attended one of his workshops on AI, how to implement it as a coach. It was $50. And I went to the workshop live with him. He went about 2.5 hours. And I said to myself, this guy's not really that great. I mean, he was him. Number one, he was very natural and organic, and people responded to that. They liked it. I was paying attention, and he didn't pitch. He didn't pitch anything. He just said, if you want help with this, here's my cell phone number. And I stole that from him. And I did my own workshop on YouTube, and I validated it. And I had 41 people sign up for that YouTube workshop. And then I sold the replays inside of the school community, right? Or they had to upgrade to annual to get it. But the workshop went really well, and people were raving about it, writing me testimonials. So then I did another series of workshops, Stick Live, which basically went through my entire business. And I sold that as well. And I knew that I would, because I asked my members if it was something that they would want. And when I launched it, people bought it.
Of course. This is something you do, actually. And this is something I've taken on board myself, and I've learned so much from you in just a short space of time that I've known you, is actually getting the community to design, I don't know if design is the right word, but help you create products that they want to purchase and learn from. Can you explain how you got into that and how you made the decision to start doing that within your community? I think you probably partly did, but yeah, if you don't mind explaining.
No, I love to, and it's a difficult concept to grasp, but when you really start to think about it, you're like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I just refer to it as build it backwards, which is most people, Des, as you know, and I've done it multiple times. We build a product that we think people need. I think people would want this, right? We do a bunch of research, and the research is usually on the internet, not with real live human beings who would maybe buy the thing. And we make it, and we spend all this time building a course, creating PDFs, and then we build a landing page, and we go launch the ads, or we start doing social media content, and it's crickets. Nobody shows up. And the reason that happened is because nobody told you that they wanted it. No human being actually said, you know what, I want that thing, and I'll pay money for it.
Absolutely.
So after doing that, like 20 times or so, I just said, this is not working. So I paid attention to there's a reason I do one-to-one calls. Number one, I want to help them. If I can help them, it will reinforce their decision to stay in the group, because people will leave if I don't help them.
Of course.
So that's reason number one, is I want to actually get them a win so that they will feel that they made a good decision. Second, I get information from them that allows me to not only help them, but also other members, because it's repetitive. The people say the same stuff. I hear the same stories over and over again. And that's what I use to present. Okay, I'm hearing this a lot lately. What do you guys think about this? I'm thinking about putting this product together. What would you be open? Would you want this? Number one. and it's probably going to be paid. I did this with Mindset School, by the way, before I even launched it.
Okay.
But it's going to be probably 50, maybe 250, whatever it is. And I'll just wait for people to respond. And if enough people respond, I will make it. And if people don't respond, I won't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. It's a brilliant way to do it. And only a few more questions. I think, did you start off your community as a free community and then you transitioned to paid? And I think this is something you probably spoke about. Was it just recently as well? I think, didn't you, within the community, or you did a call or something about it?
I did, and it's something that I get. I pondered between free or paid for the third one.
You know,
yeah, and it was a third community. I had earned the right, at least I felt, that people were going to pay me. And I created so this was before the $9 hobby plan was what came about. This was April the 1st, right? So I went to my email list. I had a smaller email list at the time. I had maybe about 1,500. And I just said, hey, I have this idea for this group. I don't know if it's going to be free. It might be $5 per month, right? Free or $5 per month. It's going to be about mindset. There's not going to be I don't even know what I'm going to do in there. I'm just going to help you solve this problem so that you can start a business.
Sure.
And get out of your own way. And I said, when I get 25 people to say yes, I'll launch it. And I had about 21. I ran ads to it. I reminded my email list. I sent out 9 emails to build the wait list. This is the big takeaway is you can't just do it one time.
No.
You got to do it multiple times. I was running paid ads to the wait list and I sent 9 emails out. Then I launched it and only one person signed up on the first day. 21 people said they would do it. And
that must have been heartbreaking.
It was, but I just kept reminding them, hey, it's open, come in. And then eventually I got my first, 20, 25 paid members. And then then the YouTube thing hit and I 4x'd the community overnight. And then I started running paid ads to the group. I had a very successful campaign where I got a bunch of members, and then it's a slow roll. It doesn't happen super fast.
Of course.
But that's how I validated the community first before I opened it. And then as the price increased, I had to validate that as well.
That's great. And this is an interview question I always ask a lot of the guests. Mm-hmm. And I think it's one that I love and mostly interests most people. If you had to do it all again, is there anything you would have done differently? I think I know the answer to this, but I'd love to hear your answer on this.
Oh my goodness. How much time do we have? Look, I've been asked that question before, and this might sound corny, but absolutely nothing. There isn't anything I would do different. I don't believe in regrets. I firmly believe that I was supposed to go through all of that, all the egg on my face, so that I could be right where I am right now and helping people. I can't help people if I can't share with them all the mess ups that I had and that I still make today. I mess up all the time. So there really isn't anything I would do differently. That's
a brilliant answer. Thank you so much. Well, look, obviously we've spoken about the YouTube channel. We've spoken about Skool. Where can people find you, Brian? Where's the best place?
Well, the best place to find me is, I would say, YouTube. I think that's probably the best place. So if you go, I can leave the handle or whatever it is, but I think the YouTube channel is probably the best place to start so that you can just get to know me a little bit, because I maybe am not for everyone.
I don't believe that. Well, Brian, look, thank you so much for the interview. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, but I've really enjoyed it. I think the viewers have learned so much about your transition and the actual business model that you're using at the moment, and you're very successful with it. So I really do appreciate the interview today. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's great. Again, it's been great. We haven't known each other long, but it's been tremendous. You're such a great member and Skoolers member too. Like I just see you all the time. You're active. This is one thing that you asked if, hey, what can I leave people with?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. Yeah.
You're looking to start a business, right? And I think one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they're already at step 15 in their brain and maybe in their plan before they even get to step 1, right? And step 1 is just to do the thing, right? To make a decision. And a lot of the times when you do that, like, you fight the decision, you resist the decision because you think step 15 is going to end your life.
Sure.
And I always say this all the time, and not to sound cryptic, but nobody ever died making a YouTube video, right? It's okay over here. It's not that bad, but you
Right.
have to make the decision first, and then I've had people validate this. When you do that and you drop all the other stuff that you're thinking about, like there's such a great sense of relief. And you won't know that until you do it. So you have to decide. When a mentor told me once, when you decide, you are powerful.
Brilliant. Love that. Brian, thank you so much. I shall see you in your community.
You bet, man. Looking forward to it. Thanks for doing this. This is awesome. And I love your background.
Thank you. It is real, by the way.
Yeah, I know.